Today I want to talk about success and people who may be offended by success. And you may be offended by success. And if you're offended by success, it normally comes down to something that's happened or hasn't happened in your past. And we get students who come to us and they have a certain expectation in their minds. And many people who go to property courses, they have an expectation in their mind that they're going there and they're going to learn something quickly and it's going to make them rich. This is why so many people with such high, inflexible expectations go on to fail very quickly. Now, if you think about it, if you've been to something like a Tony Robbins, a share trading thing, a property course, whatever it might be, where you know that the person speaking, hopefully, is doing pretty well for themselves, and that's why they're speaking up there. And they have a certain persona about them, which means that they are able to get up there and speak in front of many people. You must have a certain persona about yourself to be able to do a video like this and have the balls to put it out there in the public space, knowing that there will be people out there who say thumbs up, thumbs down, somewhere in the middle. And you can't please everyone, so it doesn't matter. And if you don't like what you watch, switch off. You don't need to spend another hour hammering the shit out on social media. It's not that you offend the person. What I'm saying is I'm trying to save you some time so that you can spend more time getting on with your life and achieving those expectations that you have. So when you're offended by someone's success, it's not that you're jealous in a way. I don't believe that you're jealous of the person driving a nice car, living in a nice house, going on nice holidays. I don't believe that people are jealous. I believe that people, the majority of people, want the same thing. They want that financial freedom. They want to be wealthy, whether that's being able to do something whenever you want, with whoever you want. It doesn't have to be that you have to be a multi-millionaire to do that, believe me. If you've got something that's pulling you in £100,000 to £200,000 a year on a consistent basis, you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be. So just remember that. However, you must be flexible with what you expect the outcome to be, because things change. You know, if I was to get up on stage, or someone to get up on stage and say, you can do this, you can do that, blah, blah, blah. The difference with me, I would say at the end, it's hard work. And not everyone is going to have the same success as me, or someone better than me, or someone worse than me. It all comes down to you as a person and about your expectations, and really about what you think you can do and how far you can get, and about not giving up and being persistent, being conscientious, you know, finding that knowledge. And you ain't going to find it in a 2-3 hour free course where people are just trying to sell you shit. It's not going to happen, because your expectations are right up here, and then you go out and you fail because you don't know enough. You don't have the experience. So you need to work with someone who has that experience. Now, getting back to being offended by success. Again, it's not jealousy. It may be that you haven't achieved what it is that you want to achieve. And it may be that you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 50, 70 years old, and you're listening to this. You might not be feeling at your best because somebody you know or grew up with has gone on to do great things and worked hard, and you look at them and you think, not jealous, but you do say to yourself, oh, show off prick, you know, who's he think he is, who does she think she is, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you now that it's more about you feeling a little bit inadequate for yourself. You know, or maybe if I'd have done something when I was his age or when he was doing it, instead of going out doing whatever, I could have maybe got to that stage. So I know that everyone has a past, and it may not be that that person has made you feel a little bit inadequate or whatever because they're doing better than you, or the perception is that you think they're doing better than you. There could be something in your past that has diverted the attention away from your success. And you're holding on to that occurrence or pain, let's call it, that's held you back. So it's not that you're inadequate in that sense, and I don't believe you're inadequate at all, but you get that feeling of inadequacy. I believe you're just maybe waiting for the right time, but that right time may never ever come along unless you get out there and start making it happen. Because whatever you do now is creating your future. So if you're sitting back, watching everyone else achieve success or whatever it might be, feeling a little bit inadequate, recalling all the pain and the crap that you think has stopped you, and, you know, going through all the emotions, because it is an emotional thing that's doing it. It's not logic. And it could be that you're holding yourself back just by being angry, not at everyone else, it's at yourself. Because most people who are so-called, he's an angry person, she's an angry person, it's normally because it's not that you're angry at other people, you've got an inner anger, a feeling of inadequacy, a pain there that's holding you back. And what we do is we project that onto other people. So whether that's your parents, your wife, your husband, your uncles, your aunties, whoever it might be, your mates, or someone like me or another speaker who's trying to help you in most cases, and you know, you're throwing money at it, but it still doesn't work. Now, you can throw money at anything. I could go down my street and I could buy a house, not knowing anything about it. And then you buy the house, all of a sudden, you know, 6 months later, things start to occur, cracks here, there, whatever. You know, you buy a car, you think, yeah, it looks good, I'll just buy it. Sounds good. Everyone said it's going to go up in value. But you bought underlying a rust bucket because you haven't had the knowledge to be able to point out to yourself that this is not the right deal. And that's, you know, frustration comes into it as well. Because again, you see other people living the way that you want to live, and you've thrown money at it. In many cases, your life savings. You haven't got a penny left. And now you're knackered. Because not only do you feel inadequate, angry, you got pain, now you're getting frustrated, and now you're stuck in a hole. And you know what? When you get a few more quid together, you're going to get a bit more confidence. You're going to go throw more money at courses or books or videos or whatever it might be. And you're going to be stuck in that vicious circle unless, of course, you say to yourself, I've got to change this. I've got to change the patterns. I've got to change the way I think. And there'll be some of you says that's impossible, you can't change. I've been on the breadline all my life, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. Bollocks. I don't believe you. In fact, I know it's not true. I didn't come from a rich background. I remember sleeping at the foot of my parents' bed, freezing cold, with the wind coming through the windows of a shed. I know what it's like. But you know what? I only recall those moments when I'm trying to help other people, as an example. Because those moments, to me, were some of the best times in my life, because I was close to my mum and dad, we had fun together. There wasn't a worry about money, because I didn't have any. That's the difference. You know, the world doesn't owe you anything. And you don't owe the world anything either. But there is a big world out there. There's a ton of opportunity. And you just got to do it. Whether that's living in the middle of Australia in a bush, in a shed. It's fun. But you've got to learn how to survive in such a scenario, because it's hard. It's fun, but it's hard. You may say to yourself, I want to live in London in a penthouse apartment or whatever. Again, it's fun for the right person, but it's hard work that gets you there. It doesn't just fall out of the sky. Buying a lotto ticket, you think about what I've said, right? And think about why you would buy a lotto ticket. You have certain expectations and you say to yourself, I'm going to win lotto. This is my week. And you don't win. Then all that feeling of inadequacy and frustration and pain all comes back because you're trying, you're using desperation. And when you're desperate, the more desperate you get, the more desperate things you do. That's the way it is. Emmanuel Ezekiel, my business partner, said, you know, desperate people do desperate things. And you can see it. If you've got a few quid and you're like, yeah, I'm getting on all right, you never go and ask anyone for money, right? Unless it's to invest in something. However, when you know that you need money, otherwise it's life and death or whatever, you go and you ask anyone for that money because you're desperate for that money. Now, people will give you money or not give you money. If it's because you've got a family member who needs an operation urgently, they will give you money hand over fist. You just look at social media and look at, you know, Captain Tom, or Colonel Tom as his name now, for the NHS. Wanted to raise £1,000 by walking up and down his bloody backyard. 33 million he's raised. Why? Because it touches the heart of people and they want to give to good causes. And he will go down in history. Now, if you think about it, Captain Tom did his 100 laps or whatever he did. And he raised his initial goal of £1,000. However, it wasn't Captain Tom who donated the money, if that makes sense. It was all the other thousands of people who got stuck in and said, yeah, I believe in what you're saying. I believe in what you're doing, and this is great. You're 100 years old, or turning 100 years old, and yet you're still doing what you can to raise that little bit of money, 33 million. Now, if you think about Captain Tom, yeah, he's had a good life and whatever. He could easily sit back and eat his donuts and drink his beer and just rot himself to death. No, he's still walking up and down. He's still trying to raise money. He still creates purpose in his life. And the key is purpose. You got to find out who you are and what you want to do. And listen, you ain't going to get off this video and go and find out what that is. It might take days, it might take weeks, it might take months, it might take years, but you need to start now. Your purpose is about helping other people. That's what it's about. Your passion is about you. You need to find out what you are passionate about, and then your purpose is to serve others, whether it's your family or whoever it is. And accept very quickly that you cannot please everyone. Not everyone is going to accept you. Not everyone is going to accept what you say. It would be a boring world if they did. Everyone would support Arsenal or Liverpool or Tottenham or whatever, or Man United. There wouldn't be different supporters for different teams. You know, put a positive spin on your life. Think about the positives and focus on the positives in your life. And you might say, oh, there's no positive. Bullshit, there is a positive. Number one, you're alive, you're breathing, and you're looking at me right now, talking, listening, etc. There'll be thousands of people in this world who would love just to be able to do that. So, again, sort out your expectations. Make them flexible as well. And just be aware that you have emotions and you have logic. Be very careful about running your life on emotions. Yeah, you get a great feeling about something, then it turns into logic. Okay, yeah, sounds like a fantastic idea. However, do I have the time, resources, and the knowledge to be able to carry this out? And be honest with yourself and write it down. Then get someone else to run it past. Say, look, you know me. What do you think? They might say, mate, that's not you. What am I good at then? You're a good listener. You're a good gardener. You're a good car driver. You're good at fixing cars. You're good at, you're a great father. You're a great mother, whatever it might be. You're a great friend. You're really good with your hands. I've seen you do some amazing stuff on the internet. Whatever it is. There'll be something that people see you as good for something. Think about why people phone you up. What do they ask you for? All right. And it's okay to get emotional, but express yourself calmly and logically at the same time if you can. Put your emotions into logic. And just go and have a walk or something. Just relax. If you're one of those people who has something that makes you angry inside. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. Only fight for what's worth fighting. There's no use fighting for something that is just, something that's pent up in you from your past. It's not worth doing it. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people with pent up emotions at the moment. And unfortunately, some of those are coming out by way of abuse, whether it be physical or mental. Mental is even worse because you can't see it. So, don't get defensive, and you'll be getting defensive by listening to this, listening to me. Who does that dickhead think he is? And the fact that you're getting emotional at me right now, if you are, calling me a dickhead, calling me whatever names under the sun, is because of what we initially went through. You're frustrated, you're angry, you haven't done what you needed to do. Well, you need to start doing it. Because ultimately, you are in control of everything that you do. You're in control of your destiny. Ultimately, it comes down to you. So listen. For those that are successful, well done, but don't rest on your laurels because it can be gone tomorrow. So you should still be thinking, how can I improve? How can I help others? What can I do? Can I take 20 minutes out of my day like I have now to help somebody else achieve something? Because I'll tell you what, if one person watches this video and one person changes, and that person becomes a success, I'm happy. Take care, have a good day, and we'll chat again soon.